One country once refused to even defend their World Cup title. They sent 0 players, didn't show up. That's how wild this tournament's history really is. By the end of this video, you'll know how a trophy almost named after a guy named Jules turned into the biggest sporting event on Earth, and why one country's obsession with this competition still shapes the entire sport. It started in 1930. Uruguay, a tiny country in South America, hosted the very first World Cup. Only 13 teams showed up, mostly because getting to South America by boat took weeks. Imagine asking European teams today to skip the tournament because the flight's too long. Uruguay won that first title on home soil. Then, 4 years later, the defending champions didn't defend anything. Uruguay skipped the 1934 World Cup entirely. They were mad European teams didn't travel to support their tournament. Pure pettiness on a global stage. Here's where it gets interesting. The trophy itself almost disappeared forever during World War II. An Italian official hid it in a shoebox under his bed for years so the Nazis couldn't steal it. A literal shoebox under a bed, holding what's now considered the most prestigious trophy in sports. After the war, the tournament exploded in popularity. Brazil became the gold standard. They've won it 5 times, more than any other country. And one player changed everything: Pelé. He won his first World Cup at 17 years old. 17! Most teenagers can't even drive yet, and he was already a global icon. Now here's a stat that surprises almost everyone. The World Cup happens every 4 years, but it's actually the most watched event on the planet, beating the Olympics. Over 1 billion people tuned in for recent finals. That's roughly 1 in every 8 humans on Earth watching one game. The format kept growing too. It started with 13 teams. Now it's expanding to 48. Soon, almost every continent gets a real shot at glory, not just the usual powerhouses. And the rivalries? They're practically wars without weapons. Argentina versus Brazil, Germany versus everyone. These aren't just games, they're decades of pride on the line every match. So let's recap. One country skipped its own title defense. A trophy survived a war hidden in a shoebox. A 17-year-old became a legend, and now over 1 billion people watch the final. Here's the wildest part. This tournament didn't just survive nearly a century of wars, boycotts, and chaos. It got bigger because of it. If this made football finally make sense, hit subscribe. There's a lot more where that came from.